About 1 in 5 people who have a 1 will be admitted to a hospital for a second one within 5 years. For patients at risk of sudden cardiac arrest, a doctor may prescribe a wearable defibrillator, which monitors the heart and delivers shock to restore rhythm. An Arizona man says that device saved his life. In this morning's Aging Untold Extra, reporter Tisha Powell shows us how it works.
Life is back to normal for Izzy and Benita Sonnabend. The Phoenix couple is traveling again, spending time with family. And it's all because of this. A medical life vest that saved Izzy's life.
The EMTs, my doctor, the people at the hospital, everybody said that thing saved your life.
It was just last year the 72-year-old grandfather was feeling great. Then everything changed when he had a heart attack. Thankfully, Izzy recovered and was sent home from the hospital. But since he was still at risk of another cardiac crisis, doctors prescribed him a life vest, a wearable heart monitor and defibrillator to be worn around the clock. Gerontologist and Aging Untold expert Sam Craddock explains what's happening with the heart that requires a life vest.
The heart works on electrical rhythms. Sometimes we lose those rhythms, so that lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. And so when you lose that rhythm, the heart actually stops for a minute. And so how you get that rhythm to create back is you create an electrical shock. So a defib literally is shocking that heart back into a functioning rhythm.
Izzy went into cardiac arrest at home in the middle of the night.
That vest was able to shock his heart back, save his life while they waited on the paramedics to get there. It's amazing that they had that opportunity and not any damage was done by waiting.
Doctors at Banner University Medical Center in Phoenix tell us a growing number of cardiologists are prescribing these life vests for patients who are in the middle of treatment or waiting for another procedure like what happened with Izzy. The company that makes the life vest claims the vest is saving 3 patients a day, every day, across the country.
It's my mission to make sure that I make the most of what there is and give back.